top 10 toxic A-listers that ruined their reputation. Counting down from number 10, Angelina Jolie, one of the most well-known actors in the world. She has a great acting record and starred in Girl Interrupted, for which she won an Oscar. She made her acting debut in the late 1990s and became one of the most sought-after actresses after appearing in Lara Croft Tomb Raider at the beginning of the 2000s. She was dubbed one of Hollywood's sex icons for her ability to seduce both men and women. Angelina Jolie was appointed a UNHCR Goodwill Ambassador in 2001 at UNHCR headquarters in Geneva. She is also well known for her humanitarian work. She was able to work with Brad Pitt in the 2005 film Mr. and Mrs. Smith because of her successful career. In addition to the fact that Brad Pitt was married, the movie made them a real-life couple. At the time, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston were still married, and many people said that Jolie was to blame for their divorce in October 2005. The Maleficent star, who was regarded as a homewrecker and continues to be to this day, was opposed by all of the Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston fans. After 10 years together and 2 years of marriage, Brad and Aniston got divorced in 2016 after surviving public tribunals for years. Number 9, Lindsay Lohan. Being in the public eye is not a new experience for Lindsay. When she was just 3 years old, she began working as a child model. Lindsay quickly found success as an actress thanks to her regular role on the television show Another World, which brought Disney's attention to her. She got her next acting job in the 1998 remake of The Parent Trap, which was surprisingly successful. This redheaded actress rose to prominence as a leading lady in 2003's Freaky Friday, 2004's Mean Girls, and 2005's Herbie: The Next Generation. Fully charged early in 2007, Lindsay Lohan's hot streak abruptly ended. On May 26, 2007, Lindsay Lohan was involved in a car accident, according to CNN. She was taken to the hospital. Lindsay had just been discharged from the Wonderland Center Rehabilitation Center, where she was being treated for unidentified issues at the time. The actress's reasons for going to rehab in the first place became clear after she was charged with misdemeanor hit and run, DUI, and possession of a snowy substance. Evidently, this was not enough for her, and 2 months later, she was arrested on the same charges. Her double role in the film I Know Who Killed Me and the film's critical reception were the real downfall of Lindsay Lohan's career. Lindsay won both the Worst Actress Award and Worst Screen Couple Award at the 2008 Golden Raspberry Awards because she plays opposite herself in the two main roles. There were a total of 8 Razzie Awards given to the film I Know Who Killed Me in 2008. Lindsay is still attempting to reclaim her reputation and make a comeback after so much time has passed. She actually signed a contract with Netflix to star in 2 high-profile movies, one of which is a romantic comedy, Falling for Christmas, back in 2022. Number 8, Rob Lowe. One of the items confiscated after the police searched and seized boxes of material and personal computers in Paul Rubin's Hollywood Hills home was Rob Lowe's tape. Wink, wink. That tape had a huge role because it was the very first video of celebrities having intercourse that was copied and sold at large. At the time, Rob Lowe was very famous and part of the Brat Pack in the 80s, taking part in Young Bloods and St. Elmo's Fire. However, after a controversial video of him leaked, his very promising career started going down. In Atlanta in 1988, Lowe was attending Democratic National Convention, and later that night, he took 2 girls to bed after meeting them in a club, not knowing that one of them was only 16. Yikes. Because the legal age of consent in Georgia is 16, he managed to escape prosecution. However, his public image was already ruined, and additionally, there was another tape that came up which made things even worse. Rob Lowe said he was never without work. However, he was pretty much aware that the scandal cost him some good roles, and he claimed he lost a role in Titanic because of that. What's important for Rob is that he climbed back up on the Hollywood ladder, and most of the things in the past were forgotten because of his great acting and roles in movies like Tommy Boy, Wayne's World, and Parks and Recreation. Number 7, Chris Brown. One of the best and most brilliant singers and dancers in most recent history, Chris Brown. But when money and fame corrupt your mind, some really bad things can happen. This singer once upon a time had a promising career, and he was earning strong reviews from critics for his 2 albums that went multi-platinum. Chris Brown's reputation was permanently ruined in 2009 after he assaulted his then-girlfriend Rihanna and left her with facial injuries that were documented and then released across the media. This domestic violence case made Chris Brown's career suffer very much, and the R&B singer got his songs withdrawn from the majority of radio stations and also got his deals canceled. Because of this situation, his request for a UK visa was rejected. He needed to do community service, and not even apologizing multiple times to Rihanna and her fans made the situation better. His legal troubles never stopped. He got 5 years probation, and he was included in other scandalous behaviors like the public brawl with Drake in 2012, a felony assault charge in 2013, and a standoff with the police in his home in LA in 2016. Chris Brown is still working and producing some material, but none of his albums was able to perform well commercially. Only a few of his devoted fans left on his side because he lost favor with the majority of the people, and he's considered one of the most hated figures in Hollywood. On to number 6, Johnny Depp. Johnny is one of those celebrities who doesn't need a special presentation because he is one of the most famous Hollywood stars who led a variety of very popular blockbusters and franchises in the last 25 years. His reputation received a big hit in 2016 when he was accused of alcohol abuse and domestic violence by his then wife, Amber Heard. That information came up only a couple of days after their divorce, and they took huge publicity, especially after Amber released pictures showing her bruises. For Johnny Depp, that situation was more like a starting point because in early 2017, the actor filed a lawsuit where he was accusing his financial managers of mismanaging his money. It's a funny situation because the management company later countersued Johnny Depp, and they released a list of his bizarre purchases, accusing him of reckless spending. Those actions didn't bring anything good for Johnny Depp. On the contrary, they added to the negative side, which left many people wondering if he will be able to return to his former glory and rehabilitate his public image. Number 5, J.K. Rowling. If you're looking for a masterclass on how to destroy your reputation very quickly, you can just follow J.K. Rowling and her recent actions in the previous couple of months. She was highly regarded until the minor problems that came along the way. She made a number of controversial and offensive tweets on her Twitter and a lengthy and weird article on her website that confirmed she is suffering from transphobia. Reactions have been swift too. Many fans of Harry Potter reacted with dismay. The cast of the film united to sentence her comments, and there were campaigns against her organized by LGBTQ groups. J.K. Rowling is without doubt one of the most well-known authors on the planet, and publishing any new material by her, especially a fantasy story, is actually a license to print money. We'd imagine that Hachette may have already paid her a handsome advance to finish work on the Ichabod, and they're not about to let that investment slip away simply because Rowling seems intent on trashing her name on the internet. The only thing that we know for sure is that J.K. Rowling will have a really hard time in the next period trying to regain her lost reputation. Number 4, speaking of Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. A couple of years ago, everything was looking fine, especially after Amber Heard ended up her relationship with Johnny Depp in a peaceful way. They just couldn't leave everything behind. And recently, there were once again with court trials that are covered by the media on a daily basis and everyday updates all over the internet. Everything started with Johnny Depp suing his ex-wife Amber for $50 million in a lawsuit because of the text she wrote to the Washington Post in 2018. Because of Amber's counterclaim, a lot of their private details, mostly about their marriage and divorce, became public. Number 3, Charlie Sheen. Charlie is a man who was one of the highest paid actors, but his substance addiction to an unforgivable level destroyed his career. The down path of this movie star started when he got fired from TV shows for a number of different reasons, such as anti-Semitic comments and his addiction to substances. The derogatory comments that were made about Chuck Lorre, 2.5 Men, got covered and broadcasted by the media, and those actions gave his career a red signal. During a number of TV and radio interviews that he was a warlock, and that's too with tiger blood. His madness went to a stage where he even began uploading videos of himself smoking and cursing his employers. He said that he was a rock star who came from Mars. We can consider this valid because his acts were not normal and were totally different from the people living on planet Earth. The most disgusting fact was his confession that he had HIV, and after knowing the fact, continued having intercourse with more than 200 partners. Number 2, Bill Cosby. Bill was acting in one of the most famous shows of that time and was called America's Dad for the role he played as Cliff Huxtable on the highly rated show The Cosby Show. However, it came up that that character didn't reflect him in real life. Although the title stayed with him for years after the end of the sitcom in '92, he all of a sudden became a disgraced actor after a number of women made assault accusations against him in the mid-2010s, with the earlier incidents dating back decades. I mean, talk about celebrities who ruined their reputation. Bill Cosby was the pudding pop spokesman. In 2018, he was found responsible for 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault, and he got a prison sentence of 3 to 10 years in state jail. He was released from prison after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his 2018 conviction for assault. And finally, number 1, Wesley Snipes. Snipes, who was a big star with roles in To Wong Foo, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, White Men Can't Jump, and the most famous movies in the Blade trilogy. We can say that Wesley Snipes was doing a really good job before he decided that paying taxes was not necessary. Avoiding paying your taxes is not something that you can be proud of, and in the US, actions like this are severely punishable. You may be wondering, what is the worst that can happen for this? In most cases, the person is going to pay the amount with some additional fines. In this situation, Snipes' tax offenses were so bad that he actually went to jail to the reports in New York Times. Wesley Snipes was found guilty of willfully not paying his taxes for more than 3 years, and he got a year in jail for every year he avoided tax paying. In addition, this famous actor had to pay $17 million in penalties and taxes. Because he was not able to continue his career and make movies while he was in jail, he had to totally stop his career. This is a lesson for the new celebrities and everyone else that if they want to have a decent career, they shouldn't get tricky with the taxes and should think twice before doing any other offense. That is all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.